Greetings and blessings. Welcome, everyone. One Love Center for Spiritual Living. I am Reverend Rodney Gittens. So glad to have you here. And we are going to end the month in a wonderful way. We're talking about love. No doubt. Love has, there is no doubt. Love is love, knows, even if it doesn't know what it is love, and it works. And we're going to start by singing our way in and let the celebration, let the party, let the conversation begin.
Oh, 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 yeah. There's a place where love grows, where the spirit in you knows that you're welcome as you are, shining bright like every star. Come and learn, come and play in the sacred light of day. We're unfolding, growing free in the One Love family. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah. One love, one life, one life, one life, one spirit divine. One heart, one life, one life, one life, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to the sacred space, where we honor every face, the splendor of the God in you, shining through in all you do. Learning, growing, hand in hand, together we will understand. Prosperous, giving, hearts set free. One love is our destiny. One love, one life, one spirit divine. One heart, one life, your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Welcome home to one love. To one, welcome home to one love. Where love grows, yeah. To one love.
Yes, one love. That's who we are, and that's what love is. Only one. So glad that you are here to join us. And if you choose, you can certainly let us know that you are here. You can make a comment, say, "Hi, I'm here," maybe where you're from. And if you have any comments during this celebration, and right now it's going to be somewhat of a one way conversation because I am here, and and due to circumstances beyond my control or any of our control, I am the only one here uh, behind the camera. So feel free to chime in. So we're going to start with or what's next is our reason for being, our mission, why we are here, what we are about, who we are. And we're going to start off with our mission. We're on a mission. We're on a mission to provide a stable and welcoming community for all who choose to learn, practice, grow, and play in the unfolding of their understanding of spiritual principles and, of course, spiritual living. We envision this is how we see the world. This is what it's all about. This is what our mission is all about. We see the world as a sacred environment where spiritual living flourishes through the continual growth and the development of learning and application of spiritual principles so we can apply them to our spiritual living. And our community is lovingly created as a place of fellowship, meditation, prayer, sacred and healing service, music, celebration, classes, workshops, and spiritual film. And we'd love to get back to the spiritual film. That was so much fun. It ended right at the on the beginning, let's say onset of the pandemic. So we're really doing well with that. We look forward to going back to that. Now, One Love practices compassion in service, love in action, and joyous, prosperous giving in the community. And we welcome everyone. We welcome first-time guests, visitors, everyone who's been coming for a while. We recognize the splendor of the infinite divine spirit that is you. And please know that we support you in being the best that you choose to be in this glorious life. And we thank you for celebrating spirit with us today. Welcome to a place where love grows. Welcome to One Love Center for Spiritual Living. All right. So I am doing the controls also. So we're going to do what's next. And what's next is our opening prayer. And basically, it is a sacred invitation into a deeper awareness. Evocation calls us into conscious recognition of the divine presence, which is already here. And so we are speaking, we are evoking the word of the divine from within, knowing that that's just where the divine is. It's within each and every one of us. So I invite you to join me as we touch in that special way who we are. Feel free to close your eyes and join me in that high holy space within. And of course, if you are driving or moving in some kind of way, pay attention to where you are going and be fully aware. And still, you will get the message. You will get the feeling. And so right here, right now, I am knowing that all there is one. All there is the divine one. By whatever name you choose to call it, doesn't matter, because there's only one. Many folks call it God or Allah. In different cultures, there are different names. The Buddha or the Atman presence, Great Spirit. It doesn't matter because there's only one. And in this space of oneness, I am knowing that all is as designed to be. As it has been said in song, the Creator has a master plan. And that plan is unfolding in each and every moment. And I know that today, right here, right now, right where I am, right where you are, even if this is being viewed at another point in time through a recording, it's the right place and the right time. And so I'm giving thanks, knowing that the right and perfect words are being channeled and expressed through and as me and any music that is happening and anyone who's contributing in any way through the comments or the messages. I know that what needs to be said is said, what needs to be heard and felt is heard and felt. Knowing that there is another divine message being made available, talking about doubt, talking about divine doubt, talking about how doubt leads to questions, which allows each and every one to go even deeper and further into revealing the truth, the greater truth, capitalized. Each letter, truth, not just a T, every letter is capitalized, meaning that there is indeed trust and harmony. There is a realization of the unconditional, transformational healing. And that is what I call truth. And that is what is showing up for each and every one of us as each and every one goes deeper within with questions and with doubt for a divine purpose to reveal how love shows up, to reveal that there is indeed doubt and no doubt that is working for each one's greater good. I know this word spoken into the law, divine right action is already bringing forth what might be called miracles, but it's bringing forth a manifestation. It's bringing forth the desired good in form in each one's life that says, yes, yes, there is a divinity in all of this. And this word spoken into the law knows what to do, how to do it, when to do it. And so I release this word, knowing it is done right here, right now. And I affirm it and invite each one to affirm it by saying, and so it is, and now it is. Yes. And as you can see, you can take advantage of a prayer request, which is what we do. We honor prayer requests. And we'll get back into that a little bit later. So for right now, we are going to talk about the divine doubt. Okay, that is the theme of the month. And right now, I'm going to bring it in. And that is the wrong one. So let's take that off. Let's see. Let's get that off. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. In the meantime, let me tell you about the divine doubt. Okay. We're always talking about oneness. We're always talking about how different ways to look at oneness. It doesn't matter what way you look at oneness, we're always going to find oneness. We're always going to look at it in different ways, in ways that might make it seem like there's more than one. However, we know the truth. We know there is only one. We know there is different aspects of the one. And so it seems like there's duplicity is as real as things that seem separate as real. However, I call it new thought math, or science of mind math. 1 + 1 = 1. One is all there is. You might have two ones, but there's always one. And those two will not be exactly the same. So, so right now, let's see if we have it ready. No, that's not it. Well, we have to try it again. Okay, one more time. Okay. Well, also, what I'm going to also talk about is we are talking about questioning as an act of love. And that's the theme for today. Questioning as an act of love. Will you join the action? Will you join the act? Get in the act of love, and not just love, but questioning as an act of love. And what does that mean for you? What does it mean for me? For me, it means that I care so much that if I do have any doubts, yeah, I can ask. I can ask from not a place of feeling disparaged or feeling unloved or feeling hated or feeling anything of that nature, but it's really about a check-in. Mostly for myself, because if I'm asking anyone, Do you love me? It sounds like that Beatles song from the 1960s. Do you love me? Uh, which actually is them covering an old soul song, R&B song from years prior. Um, and "Do you love me?" really meant, now that I am doing something that I think you like, do you now love me? But that's not really what it's about. You see, that question is more like, how do I love me? Okay. Regardless of how anybody else perceives it, I think the question is always, how do I love myself? How do I accept myself? And do I accept myself? So I'm bringing that up because I can speak for myself, and perhaps you can identify with this, that there have been relationships that seem to hinge on the quickness of that answer. Do you love me? Like, must be immediate. Yes, of course I love you. or it must sound sincere, or it must sound and feel a certain way to the person who is asking. All right. Now, ultimately, regardless of the answer, it's up to that person to believe it or not. And I think, first of all, yeah, they have doubts for their reasons. Could be legitimate reasons, like maybe the person is not forthcoming, is not being honest and sincere, and it feels unloving. However, in the midst of a loving relationship, very often it hinges on how individuals feel about themselves. If there is some low self-esteem, low self-worth, they value little about themselves, unfortunately, well, they get to reflect it on others. And of course, yeah, sure, it's not fair. But however, how often does that happen? And it's probably quite often. All right. So if you'll just give me a minute, I'm still going to find the most recent PowerPoint. So I do want to bring that up. If you'll just give me a moment, it's going to show up immediately. And in the meantime, I am going to play a song because it has everything to do with what we're talking about. And that's going to come up in just a moment. Yeah, so obviously this was going to be something in the announcements. Could certainly use some assistance in managing this broadcast. So here we go. And we're going to start with our main song we used to use for so long, making choices about removing doubt.
Heaven
Again, blessings and welcome back. And yes, we are up and running. So we're talking about doubt as devotion, questioning as an act of love. And we're asking, join the act. Feel free to question, not from a place of judgment, not from a place of fear, but from a place of how may I, in what way may I contribute to love, flourishing in my life, flourishing in my world, flourishing on the planet. And I don't mean just myself. I mean all. We all get to question this from a place of trusting, of knowing that love is ever present and available. Okay, so let's move into the first quote. It says, "The thought of faith molds the undifferentiated substance and brings into manifestation the thing which was fashioned in the mind. This is how faith brings our desires to pass." Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind, page 404. And how interesting, and listen, how simple does this sound? The thought of faith molding the undifferentiated substance. That means it's malleable, it's moldable. It has no form until our thought and faith brings it into form, brings it into manifestation. It starts in the mind, right? I mean, if you're thinking about a meal, it doesn't just instantly appear, although maybe in some existence somewhere on the planet or in the universe, our thought instantly manifests. However, we know there's a process, and it starts with the thought. And then you bring together the ingredients, which most likely you didn't create, right? Maybe you went to the store and bought them, or you went to the backyard or your farm and gathered them up and bring them into looking like the picture that you have in your mind. This is how our faith, knowing that as I do this step by step, what I desire will come into form, into manifestation, to my plate, or whatever it is. If you want a home, or if you want a car, or anything that you desire, you have to start with the thought. Otherwise, it's just going to be a lump of undifferentiated substance, like clay. It's just a lump until you begin to mold it and form it into something that becomes recognizable from your mind. Okay. And even if you're looking at a picture, it is going into your mind, and then you get to recreate what you see in your mind from the picture. So it says in our reflection, what thoughts am I nurturing today that are helping shape the life, relationships, and experience I truly wish to create? You know what that means? That means you have to think about what you're thinking. Think about what thoughts are coming up with frequency that you're nurturing this and every day. Think, and I mean think, I'm talking about contemplate. I don't mean think as in reminisce, trying to recreate something from the past, or trying to uh, uh, judge your thoughts and make them kind of look appealing, perhaps to others. I'm talking about what feels good and right and life affirming for you, for each and every one. What kind of experience am I looking to create that's going to enhance my life and the life of all those around us, around me, around all of us? Well, that's our responsibility, to use our thoughts in positive, affirming ways for the highest good of ourselves. And how does that affirmation go? For the highest good of all concerned. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's what I'm seeing in this reflection. What's reflecting back to me is thoughts of, it gets biblical, and I'm sure this is in all of the major religions, all religions. Treat others like you'd like to be treated yourself. It's like the golden rule. Okay. Would I like to be loved? Yes, absolutely. Bob Marley has a song. Could you be loved and be loved? Absolutely. And in ways that many of us may have misconceptions about what love feels like. Okay, maybe we were brought up in a way that it was a miseducation, thinking that there was abuse and it was being called love. But yet there was something that knew, something on the inside that knew, this just isn't right. This just doesn't, I don't know what love is, like that song. I want to know what love is. However, I know that it's got to be more and greater than what I'm already experiencing. Okay. So, yes, we get to question what this love feels like, what it is, how it operates in our lives. Let's go on to the next one, shall we? It says, have you ever told a lie and then forgot it was a lie? When you tell a story for long enough, you begin to believe it. We adorn ourselves with any number of distractions from self. We embrace mirages in response to cues from the outside that we are not safe, loved, or welcomed. That's by Cole Arthur Riley. This here flesh, spirituality, liberation, and the stories that mold us, that make us. So just for a moment, entertain that. Have you ever told a lie and then forgot it was a lie? And this is talking about ourselves. I'm talking about myself. Anything that we tell ourselves long enough begins to feel like the truth, even if it's not. That's how lies work. I know I was going through such a hellish time in my life. I created it. I created my own hell. And it got so bad, I'll use that word, that I could no longer even believe the lies I was telling myself. I mean, that, of course, was the change for me when I could no longer lie to myself, meaning I couldn't believe it any longer. I could no longer believe that I wasn't loved. I could no longer believe that there wasn't a place for me in the world. There was that I could no longer believe that I just would never be happy again. And that was the beginning of change for me. And so, yeah, that mirage was just breaking, like breaking like a drop in a mirror. There was just nothing on the outside that could substantiate the lie that I was doing my best to live, distancing myself from others, uh, just trying to give any excuse to not really be myself and love myself. Okay, and yes, totally grateful that the lies had to stop. The lies had to end. Yeah, I wasn't feeling safe in my own body. I wasn't welcome in my own body. Uh, and it's just very scary place to be. I don't know if any of you are going through that. If you are, well, you can easily contact us as practitioners. We will know the truth about whatever is going on in you and for you, through you, and help to disrupt the lies, to be great, have greater awareness in that divine doubt. Allow it to work on your behalf, on your wholeness, is what I say, on your being whole. Yeah. And so, and I welcome those who are tuning in. I believe we have Rio Grande Center. Thank you. Welcome. And yeah, it's always an opportunity. And the reflection says, what stories about myself have I repeated for so long that I now accept as truth, and how might my life change if I chose a new story rooted in love, worthiness, and belonging? That's the reflection. That's what we get to ask ourselves. This is asking as an act of love. This is questioning the belief, question the lie. It's going to fall through. Okay. When we question those lies, they don't hold up. Uh, uh, and I always think of little children when they learn to lie, to cover up something, like, who broke that? And, and they did it, they know they did it, but they lie anyway, and listen, it follows people throughout their whole lives, even, on the job, or, in politics, and the more you ask, the more folks try to lie to cover up the previous lie, and the only redemption is telling the truth. And then the shoulders relax, and then the tears come out, like, oh, and then they make up the story about why they lied. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here, Rio Grad. I appreciate you. And if anybody has any comments they'd like to add to this subject, you're very welcome. And so, yeah, that's what happens. And that's the only way that lies live, is by trying to constantly cover them up. And I know for me, and I recently celebrated 36 years of living without outside influences of mood or mind altering substances. And a lot of lies go along with that. So, yeah, my life has changed immensely. I mean, yes, I get to be in this wonderful teaching in leadership position and contributing in so many different ways in our organization and other organizations as what we call being a productive member of society, no longer taken away, and however, adding um, from the divine substance in positive ways, in life affirming ways. Yeah. So let's move on to the next one. It says faith is a faculty of the mind that finds its highest expression in a religious attitude, but always the person who has faith in their own ability accomplishes far more than the one who has no confidence in themselves. Those who have great faith have great power. Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind, page 403. And when I saw this, it reminded me of Spider-Man comics. Stan Lee, who created the Spider-Man character and comic, and he said, "With great power comes great responsibility." That was the tagline for Spider-Man. And it's like with great faith, there's great power, and with great power, there's great responsibility. So we are responsible to have to use our great faith. And I say that because we all have the capacity, the ability to use faith one way or the other. And I like to always point this out about the difference in using faith, because there are people who are faithfully negative. You ever run into anybody like that? Yeah, they just swear it's not going to work. No matter what you tell them, they're convinced it's not going to work. And they're not entertaining any options, no alternatives, and they have great faith that in the negative. And so I like to always use the word positive faith. Okay. Use positive faith, faith in the positive. Think that faith that's, yes, things will work out. They are working out. Yeah. So it's just very interesting about that. And I'm very interested in seeing how my use of great faith continues to be the power for the good in my life. It's always an experiment. Okay. Now, the only thing about the experiment is belief that, it's working out. It's already working out. In fact, it's already worked out. I just had to go step by step with my faith and trust. And therefore, my belief. These are the ingredients of our manifestation. Okay. There's using that frequency of faith and trust and belief. Okay. Because otherwise, things just start to fall apart. They start to dissipate. The law of the universe is like, as long as you believe, it will be done for you, unto you, through you, as you, by means of you, by the creator within. As long as we maintain that belief, that's our job. Our job is to get that divine download. I call it the divine ideas downloading, the did. What my did is in being faithful, trusting, and believing. And then, the law gets to do what it do. Get to do what it does. And that's what I get to experience. I get to have. And then do, or be, do, and have. I get to have it based on what I did. My divine idea downloaded, take action. I get to be it. Therefore, I get to do it and have it. So the reflection here says what might become possible in my life if I fully trust my own inner strength, wisdom, and capacity to grow beyond my current limitations. You're doing it. Okay. All right, I just gave you the answer. You're doing it. You're already doing it, whether you realize it or not. You're already breathing something new that you haven't breathed in before. You're trusting your own inner strength to do whatever it is you're doing in the moment without question, without doubt. I mean, yes, maybe there's times when we're not feeling our best and wonder if we can even get out of bed, you know. But at some point, we have to summon up whatever it takes, that inner strength. I got to get out of bed. I must go up and do this. I got to get something to eat. I've got to, take care of the kids. I got to maybe let somebody take care of me. The wisdom and capacity to move beyond my current limitation. We do that all the time. And perhaps we don't give ourselves credit for it. I know I don't like to look at any situation and think I have a limitation. Well, if I have any slight doubt, that can disrupt my good from showing up, or it can delay my good from showing up until what? What happens? A resolve. We get stronger. We use that innate wisdom to convince ourselves, use our thoughts to actualize what it is that we desire. We ramp up that frequency, moving into action. That's what it's about. An act of love, moving into an action. Yes. Well, this is very interesting. And so we get to live from the question. And let's just take that word question and just make it a quest. All right. It's a quest for greater information, for wisdom to show up, through the medium of the mind, the one mind that is available to all, that is shared by all. Okay. So it's not like this is unavailable to us. However, our own inner strength and wisdom is available to us, and the capacity, it's all within. Yeah, it's an act of love to be on the quest. All right, we are seekers. Seek and ye shall find. To find the truth, to be able to live the truth, unquestionably, undoubtedly, is how we get to live. We're going to go on to the next one. It says, in this science of faith, and it's a science because when we use our faith, it works. And science is all about discovering why and how things work. Well, we know they work. We just don't know how. Science breaks it down. It says we are seeking to uncover a definite technique that will conduct our minds through a process of thought, if necessary, to that place where the sublime minds of all ages have reached by direct intuition. They've reached it by an inner knowing, without explanation. I just know, just intuition. Okay. So what we do in this teaching, in our lives, and you don't have to be in this teaching to want to know, how does this work? Why does this work? I know it works because it worked before I even asked the question, before I even went on a quest to uncover, why does this work? Now, is it necessary? Because obviously we have faith, and there is a measure of trust and belief that the thing that we desire is showing up. Do we have to question it? Do we, why is there doubt? It's already working. However, as beings, spirit being human form, in human form, there is something within us that questions. It's like the small mind questioning the big mind, the one mind. Our brain power is limited, and we're doing our best to open up to get a greater glimpse, a greater idea of what is it all about and how does this work, so I can what trust more fully, believe more fully. Why? Because there's that part in the brain that just has this curiosity, this doubt, this wonder, and it causes just a little bit of separation there. And so we feel we have to break it down and see why it works. How does this work? Okay. And all we have to do is just believe, because we already know it works. Okay. And that's from Ernest Holmes' Science of Mind, page 407. A definite technique. Besides what already works, now we need to break it down and get a technique. And science is like that. Prove that we know it works. Let's prove why it works and make sure we can repeat it over and over and over and over again. That's the purpose of science. Okay. However, faith really doesn't need a breakdown. You just have the faith. We don't have to question every step we take that we are walking on solid ground. We have a certain amount of trust when it comes to walking. Every now and then we might segue to sand or water or something, and then we act appropriately. However, we still mostly know what to do, don't we? It's time to take a step in the right direction, knowing that we're always on firm, solid ground. Yeah. All right. So, at this time, we're going to take a look at one more slide. It said, faith is not the absence of questions. It is the willingness to remain open while seeking a deeper truth. Doubt does not weaken the soul. It stretches it beyond the limits of certainty, inspired by science of mind principles. And practitioner Lita Perez had created this question, this quote, and the question. So it really is all about the faith. Keep the faith. Right? Remember that? I mean, yes, it's old. From, I guess, who knows how long. Yeah, I know it from the 60s. Keep the faith. And well, let me see. In the 60s, yeah, with the New York Metropolitan Baseball Team, the New York Mets, their mantra to success in 1969 was, "You gotta believe." You gotta believe, and it's no different now. Faith is not the absence of questions, it's the willingness to remain open while seeking a deeper truth. And so just because we have doubt, it's just a way of checking in. It's a way of honoring our belief. Maybe it's, maybe coming through the back door, but it just allows us to measure. It's like, this is a test. This is only a test. Are you being faithful? Are you being trusting? Are you believing? And you just say, yes, I am. Yes, I am. And it takes it beyond, it moves, spirit moves, the law moves into action by love, by the love the creator has for its creations. And when that doubt creeps in, you say, yes, I know I am that which I am. I know that is already mine. I know that is already for me. I know that this life, this love is already acting for my greater good. And I accept it. And that's our job. That's what we need to do. And I'd like to say, welcome, Rio Grande, for spiritual living. Um, really interesting how we are cohabitating here, And I'm just going to include this right now. I'm just going to take this off real quickly. They're asking, anyone questioning the challenges and changes in the world, in their world? And listen, there's always going to be changes and challenges in the world. There's always going to be opportunities for doubt, especially amidst change. And guess what? Change is always happening. So there seems to always be a measure of doubt before we engage in anything. There is that question, can I do this? And then we say yes. Or if we continue to question, we get to check in with who we are. And that is checking in with our love quotient. 100% love, 100% trust, 100% faith. And even if it's the size of a mustard seed, guess what? It moves mountains. It can move that mountain. Okay. It can move whatever obstacle seems to be in your way. It can make a profound difference in how you get to see the life that you're living from the inside out, not judging from the outside in. That's really what it's about. And challenges and changes in your world, that's what they're there for. Nothing ever remains the same. That's the way it is. We may look exactly the same. However, there may be another hair coming up there, or maybe a blemish over there, or another wrinkle here or there, or there's always change happening. Nothing to be fearful about, nothing to disparage, and really nothing to question. Although the question may be, well, how many more gray hairs are going to pop up? And not out of worry, not out of distrust, like it's going to diminish who we are. No, it's just a question. And questions, every question has an answer. And I brought this up before, if you're taking a test and it's got a lot of questions, guess what? All of those questions have answers on the answer sheet that the teacher has. All right. And so we know that we're not just questioning something that doesn't have an answer. It has an answer. Okay. And it's going to be the right answer. However, we have to entertain the question often in order to have that answer be revealed. There are some aspects of our lives that really we don't have to question. And our lives are the better for it when we realize, and even if you ask, am I love? You can just, the saying is, the answer is in the question. Am I love? Well, the answer is right there. I am love. And I'm sure that will happen in almost everything that we question, that we have doubts about. Go back to the source. Go within and use that faith. Use that abiding faith and trust and know that, yeah, all is well. Everything is working for our higher good. Very quickly, we're going to do this right here. It says, when I allow myself to question, I make room for growth. Doubt can become sacred ground where old beliefs soften, new wisdom emerges, and faith expands into something greater than certainty. One Love, CSL Reflection by Lita Perez, practitioner. Thank you for contributing this, Lita. So, yeah, here it is, right here in a nutshell. Allow yourself to question, not judge. You know, that's what it's about. It's just a question. And we grow when we are revealing the answer. And that new wisdom, don't you feel great when you have overcome that doubt, that momentary doubt? And you're like, yay, I love myself. Like the song, I love myself so much. And we stand and move on that faith, with that belief into something greater. Thank you so much for that. At this time, we're going to go into our affirmations. So as we do this, I invite each one to take in a breath and release the breath, and we do the affirmation together. It is so that I honor my doubts as sacred signposts guiding me toward truth and understanding. Let's do that again. It is so that I honor my doubts as sacred signposts guiding me toward truth and understanding. Next one. It says, it is so that love is the foundation of my questions and curiosities. Let's do that again. It is so that love is the foundation of my questions and curiosities. And next. It is so that I welcome new insights with an open heart, knowing faith grows through exploration. Breathe in. It is so that I welcome new insights with an open heart, knowing faith grows through exploration. And this is the truth, and it is so, and so it is, and now it is. Yes, peace and blessings, beloved. At this time, we're going to ground this wonderful time together with prayer. So please join me as we go within the spiritual mind treatment. So yes, there's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is whole and complete. And that life is my life now. I am knowing that, yes, I am whole, perfect, and complete as is. As is. And I'm going to, at this moment, read something as part of this prayer. It says, cast aside all doubt from the Science of Mind textbook, page 514. Cast aside all doubt, O soul of mine, and be unafraid, for thy power is from on high. He who sitteth in the heavens shall be thy companion. Thou need not fear. Come forth, O Spirit, from within, and express thyself through me, and let not my doubt hinder thy approach. My faith shall go forth to meet thee, and my confidence shall embrace thee. My waiting thought shall bid thee welcome to my house of love. and joy shall accompany us through the ages yet to come. I lay aside all fear and doubt, for I know that the presence of the divine is with me here and now, as always. And that was previously by Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind text. And so, yes, I know that in everything I think, say, and do, that the only place for doubt is to strengthen my faith and to move past the curiosity into the divine knowing that all is well, all is proceeding according to the divine plan, to the master plan. And I give thanks to knowing this shows up in all of my affairs and all the affairs of each and every one, affairs of the heart, affairs of the love, and romance, and appreciation and affection, and all of that wrapped up as love, as divine caring, is showing up in all of the affairs of our financial affairs. It's God's good pleasure to give of the kingdom, the queendom. It shows up in the relationships. It shows up in health, that it is beyond question all about love, the power of love, that faith moves each one into loving action. I give thanks knowing that this word spoken into the law of divine right action is already manifesting for each and every one, that each one is benefiting from doubt, moving into their greater now to be. So I release this word, knowing that the Lord knows what to do, how to do, when to do it, and is doing it now, already manifesting this word for the greater good of all. And so I release this word, knowing, yes, it is done. And I affirm it, making it firm. That's what amen is, making it firm. Trusting and knowing that it is already being done. Yes, it is so. And so it is. Affirm with me by saying, and now it is. Right here, right now. And at this time, I'm going to talk about the power of prayer, which we have been experiencing. We are prayer professionals, ready, willing, and able to remind you that Spirit is full of power, charged, and always ready for your immediate use. And that's what we do as practitioners, even us ministers. We are practitioners first and foremost. And we are trained and steeped and studied and practiced in the truth about you or about whatever situation you are experiencing. And so please, you can make your prayer request. And let me put it here. Okay. You can email us at onelovecenter.org, or you can leave a voicemail at 646-685-3344. You could also use the World Ministry of Prayer. That is, email them at oneprayer@csl.org, or you can call them at 424-235-4326. As with One Love or any of our spiritual centers, all prayer requests are kept in the strictest of confidence. All right. And if you need, we do spiritual mind treatment for a period of 7 days. If you need more time, please let us know so that we can continue to pray for whatever that situation is, about that situation. And if you need more in-depth time for spiritual coaching, you can contact us. Now, there is a fee. However, no one is turned away. So please use us. This is what we're here for. All right. Also, I want to give thanks for all those who have participated in assisting One Love Center for being in existence for this time, for all of this time, for, 15 years or more, going on 15 plus years. Thank you so much. We are grateful to your donations. You can go to our website, go to PayPal, or use whatever form or method of giving that you choose to use. You can also use the Cash Me app, $ One Love CSL. And we thank you in advance. We thank those who have already been giving throughout all these years. And any amount is appreciated, is accepted. And thank you. So we're going to do our affirmation of abundance. You can repeat with me the affirmation of abundance. Money is one of the many gifts of spirit is good. As I share my offerings, I know that I am actively creating a space to receive more gift, more money, and more good. And I know that, yes, gratitude goes a long way. I am grateful for the ability to give and for the good work these gifts do in our center and in our world. And now it is. Thank you so much. We have some announcements that we're going to run through. And first and foremost, could use some tech support. If you're watching and maybe you're watching the recording, say, hey, I'd like to help him out. Well, contact us. We'd love to have you. Information is here. Our email, oneLove@onelovecenter.org, or call 646-685-3344. Something else that we do is we have our Science of Mind magazine. Wonderful information, helps you really get grounded in this teaching in different way. Of course, taking classes is another way. However, you can get the Science of Mind magazine, even get it for free. Just go to our website, join our email list, and we will sign you up to receive 6 months free of the Science of Mind magazine. Coming up is the Convention of the Americas. It's going to be in Chapala, Mexico, and I think we have a banner for that. I think tomorrow, June 1st, is the last day for the early bird pricing. So you want to take advantage of that. It's going to be a great time. It's a lot what you see here. It's going to be celebration. It's going to be connection, learning, all of that. There's going to be some ceremonies, some rituals. It's going to be meditation and all kind of great stuff. So July 21st to the 25th, definitely want to check it out. You can find them on Facebook. You can go to the website, conventionoftheamericas.org. Okay. And definitely take advantage of that. Also, there is the coming up in just a moment. Let's get the cursor working. I'm not going to curse the cursor. Save the date. Attend an enriching experience at the Celebrating Our Soul. I know it doesn't say that there. It should. However, immerse yourself in the wisdom of leading spiritual teachers, inspiring master classes, uplift your spirit with heart-expanding music for sure, connection, laughter, fun, joy. This is August 13th to the 16th at Unity Village. So great things are happening. Definitely check it out. You can go to the People of African Descent New Thought group on website, padntg.org, or you could also look for them on Facebook. All right. Thank you for sharing with us today. We invite you to join us next Sunday for our monthly theme, Higher, Deeper Love. And our topic next week is, I want to know what love is. I'm not going to sing the song. However, isn't that a question that we are almost always asking? I want to know what love is. So thank you so much for joining us. We'll do a closing prayer, and it's going to be followed by our closing song. So here we go. I am just so grateful knowing that all this time together, it's just meaningful. It's heartfelt. And if there was any question, I know it has been answered because it has been a loving affair. The acts of love have been the answer to the questions, to the doubt. I give thanks for being joined by Lita Perez and by Ellen Suazo and all those who are watching, the wonderful presence of Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living, saying, let's hold each other in the light of love. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, so knowing that all of this comes together for a greater good, as each one of us, we get to move throughout the day, throughout the week, getting to doubt and question and remembering that it is an act of love, that it is strengthening of faith. It is moving beyond being curious into trusting and knowing and believing that this good is available for each and every one from the inside out, trusting that from within, the spirit that is within each and every one of us has no doubt, maybe a lot of questions, and they all have answers for our greater good being revealed. For this and so much more, I give thanks and know that it is so, and so it is, and now it is. Thank you, thank you. It's time for our closing song, More Love.
Oh. Ooh. Yeah, yeah. There's a place where love grows, where the spirit in you knows that you're welcome as you are, shining bright like every star. Come and learn, come and play in the sacred light of day. We're unfolding, growing free in the one love family. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life. Your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. Whoa. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah. Through our prayer and meditation, joyous sacred celebration, we give thanks for all we are. Every soul has come so far. Love in action, service true, the divine spirit that is you. We're awakening, can't you see? Living love and living free. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life. Your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. One love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. Yeah, yeah. Welcome to this sacred space where we honor every face, the splendor of the God in you, shining through in all you do. Learning, growing hand in hand, together we will understand. Prosperous, giving, hearts set free. One love is our destiny. One love, one life, one spirit divine, one heart, one life. Your journey and mine, where compassion flows and grace abounds. Oh, one love, where love grows, love is found. One love, where love grows all around. One love, where love grows all around. One love, where love grows all around. Welcome home to one love. Yeah. Welcome home to one love. Where love grows, where love grows, where love grows.
Love grows all around. Peace and blessings. Thanks for joining us, and we'll do it again next week. Peace and blessings.